I think we should just go ahead and get started. Okay, so welcome guys. My name is Rhiannon. I am the Young Adult Professional Chair this year. These are a couple pictures that we took, my family and I, when we were in Paris. We also had like a family fun day thing. So that's kind of our picture down there. I started out with Hope for Henry, or I started out with iCAN from the Hope for Henry chapter as a patient going through my bone marrow transplant from sickle cell and lupus. And yeah, that's kind of it. So let's just go around if we can, maybe popcorn style, and introduce ourselves. Do we want to start with, I don't want to pick on anyone, but Luna, maybe you want to start?
Yes, gladly. Can you hear me all right? I haven't used Zoom in a while. So I'm Luna, and I was part, or I am currently part of PeerWise at Lurie Children's Hospital. And so I discovered iCAN after speaking at a patient panel just a couple of weeks ago. And about a year ago, I went through a bone marrow transplant as well. And for the sake of a blood disorder called aplastic anemia, which is basically like bone marrow failure. My older brother was my donor, and I'm headed to Wisconsin-Madison in the fall to study pre-med or engineering, still debating, but this bone marrow transplant has had a huge impact on where I want to take my career and what I want to do. And I think this is just a great way to dive into that. Because there's a lot to share, but you don't know where to share these kinds of experiences. So I'm glad to have found this organization.
I love that. I think we're on the same boat. I'm really excited because I've gotten to see different areas of the medical field, different things that I want to do, and it's really awesome to be able to see these things kind of in a different light. So that's amazing. Do you want to pick someone?
Yeah, let me pick someone on a Sunday morning. I say, let's go with Amy.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Luna. I'm Amy Omer, and I'm the director of the International Children's Advisory Network. And I love, first and foremost, seeing you all here. I'm not going to tell you my age because I don't know. I think I'm like 20, but in reality, I'm not. So we'll go with like an easy guess. I am from Michigan and I live right outside of Ann Arbor. I am not a U of M fan though. I am a Michigan State fan. So my area of location is slightly challenging during the fall football season because my hospital group is at the University of Michigan and I love their partnership, but I can't cheer for their team. So it's really difficult for me when I see all these blue and yellow flags everywhere. But with that said, I am here because one, I have a passion for making sure all of you get to share your voice and that you are part of something bigger than just an individual, but a community that wants to make change and improve care for everyone. We think it's so important that you're out there and talking about what matters to you. And as young adult professionals, we want to make sure that you are leading iCAN, that you are the ones who are kind of navigating and driving where our future is and what we should be focusing on. So I invite all of you at any point to come back and share what you want to do, what you think is important. If we can help you, we will try to make that happen. We will make it succeed and enlighten and inspire our entire community. So thank you for being here on a Sunday. And with that said, I think it's probably a good time to add Leanne to the introduction. So Leanne, would you like to share your story?
Sure. So I'm Leanne West, and I'm the president of iCAN. And I kind of come at this from a couple of different angles. So my day job is building medical devices in the pediatric healthcare space. And then I also am a patient. I have a couple of rare diseases myself and sit on a patient advisory council, very similar to what iCAN has you do, where I can talk about my condition and talk about what it's like to live like this every day. But I love all of this. I love that you all are here and interested in kind of moving forward with iCAN, with your career path, with your, whatever you want to do as you move forward in life. And like Amy said, we're here to help and we're here to support you in any way we can and give you experiences that hopefully you may not get anywhere else, but we can give them to you. So just happy that all of y'all are here and so interested in being a part of iCAN.
Leanne, did you want to call on someone?
Oh, sorry. How about Abby?
Hi guys, I'm Abby LaCrone. I am 20 years old. I'm from Pennsylvania, but right now I'm in my dorm room in Wake Forest, which is in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I'm not a patient, but I learned about iCAN through Leanne. And so I'm very, very excited. It's my first meeting. I'm very excited to kind of learn more about what iCAN is and what you guys do, and hopefully kind of be a part of all of this. This is great. Oh, I guess I called someone. Sorry. Uma didn't go, right?
No, I don't believe so.
So I'm Uma. I'm 24. I was originally part of Kids Central Ohio chapter from 2017 to 2020. But when I graduated from Ohio State, I left the chapter. And then I went on to get my master's in pharmacology from Tulane University in New Orleans. And I'm currently working at CS Mott Children's Hospital in Ann Arbor. I do clinical research in bone marrow transplant. So I work on a couple of different drug trials to evaluate the efficacy of drugs to prevent graft versus host disease, which is a common condition that can arise after bone marrow transplant. And we also work on a lot of different studies to improve caregiver well-being. So our team developed an app to produce positive psychological activities for both the patient and the caregiver to improve their experience in BMT. And I'm eventually wanting to go to medical school, but I figured that with my pharmacology background, I wanted to work in drug trials for a while before eventually going. But it's really nice to be back in iCAN now. And then I guess I'll call on Bailey.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Bailey. I am 20 years old and I am from Dana Point, California, but right now I'm actually in my apartment on campus at Loyola Marymount University, which is in Los Angeles, about 5 minutes away from LAX. Here I'm studying political science and I have a minor in bioethics, but I'm on the pre-med track. I'm on the women's swim team too, so that's a lot of fun. And I guess a brief summary of my story. So I just did an internship at Children's Hospital of Orange County, and I was a part of their Medical Intelligence and Innovation Institute. So I was an intern with that. I did a lot of shadowing. I got to meet Tiffany, if you guys know who Tiffany is. And she shared about iCAN, and I shared with her that my sister was actually a patient at CHOC. So my sister, I guess I've been what I call a CHOC sibling since I've been like 8 years old, because my sister has been in and out of the hospital since she was 1.5. They still quite don't know what's going on with her. She's had a lot of like possible diagnoses, but like from POTS to like Addison's disease. So there's just they're still trying to figure it out. I think she's getting genetic testing soon at Cedars-Sinai, which is really exciting because hopefully we'll finally like have an answer. But yeah, I think that's why I got involved with iCAN, just to be able to share my, I guess, perspective of being a sibling with a patient that has pretty complex medical history. So yeah, and then I'll popcorn it to Andrea.
Hello, my name is Andrea. I was part of the Kids Advisory Board at Lurie Children's here in Chicago. Recently I graduated, so I wanted to still be part of iCAN, so I joined the iCAN youth. Currently I am still a DePaul undergrad. I am studying animation, and I am also part of a program called Jumpstart, which allows me to be a preschool assistant teacher. So that's a really cool experience, and I hope to keep on being part of iCAN.
That's great. Thank you for sharing. You want to pick someone? I think we have 2 more. Ananya, do you want to go?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so sorry my camera's off. I've been having some Wi-Fi issues this morning. But hi everyone, I'm Ananya. I'm 20 years old. I'm from Georgia, where I'm currently, but I'll be heading out to California in a couple of weeks. I'm going to be a rising junior at Stanford studying mechanical engineering as well as the pre-med track. And I've had a chronic illness since I was born. I've been part of iCAN for a few years now. I started with Kids Georgia, which was fantastic. And kind of the reason I joined it is as a patient with an invisible chronic illness, I felt that patient empowerment was something that was super important to me. So from Kids Georgia, I was able to join the iCAN Youth Council, and that's been fantastic. I've also done a lot of projects through iCAN, one that I think I'm going to talk about a little later today. And I'm so excited to be here and meet everyone. Is there someone else?
Yeah, I think Lady Ann, is that how you say it? I don't know if she's still on the call. No, I don't believe she's still on the call, so let's just go on. I think I skipped the age and where you're from. So I am 19. I am originally from Manassas, Virginia, but I am in my dorm now at Mount St. Mary's. I am a rising freshman, I guess. And yeah, so I took a gap year and now I'm just ready to start the college life. So yeah. Just a little head start. I'm going to try to keep this meeting as informal as possible. There are a lot of little things that we're going to discuss along the way, but please feel free to stop me at any point if you want to add something, share something, anything. It's really an open space. We're all kind of in the same boat in terms of ages and stuff like that. So please feel free to jump in anytime you see something. And yeah, so let's get going. The next thing I wanted to talk about was just some of the things that we would discuss today. So I want to highlight some of the opportunities that we've already offered. We also have some stuff going on with our summit. So I wanted to share a little bit of information about that. I do want to discuss some of the goals that you guys may have. This is something that's created by you guys. So you guys are going to drive it in any way that you see necessary. So if there's something that you want to do, an initiative that you feel strongly moved by, that you want us to back you on, anything that you see or think that is important, please let us know and we can maybe make that something that we join moving forward. I do also want to discuss our young adult professional chair role. I'll discuss the role a bit more and what I do, and then also let you guys know how to, or that it's coming up, that someone can become in my role. And then the last thing would be our just basic standards and expectations. So that ranges from how often we meet, what we want to discuss, if we don't have a project coming up, and stuff like that. So some of the things that we've done already are listed here. I do want to take an opportunity to give Ananya some time to share what she's done so far in her internship. If you'd like to go ahead.
Absolutely. Well, it's the first one on the screen, a virtual social media internship house in Rome, Italy. So I'm working with the team in Italy and fellow iCAN members. I've got Reese, Cooper, and Sarah. They're amazing. And we're all working together on a virtual internship with the Bambino Gesù Hospital in Rome, Italy. And the main goal of our study is to find the correlation between social media and health information. And that could be positive information, negative information. That could be whether a patient has a chronic illness or doesn't have a chronic illness. And what we're trying to do is conduct these interviews, and we're trying to ask them, well, how does having a chronic illness, has that prompted you to ever look up certain topics on social media? What's the rhetoric that social media tells you? Trying to see if certain social media such as TikTok or Snapchat, Instagram, if ads on there, or if that feed is more tailored to them because of a chronic illness, how much misinformation or propaganda they're seeing, if any at all. And kind of the main goal of this study is really to analyze all this information and trying to see is there a difference that we're seeing with patients that don't have a chronic illness and patients that do have a chronic illness with social media interaction, as well as really how much disinformation is out there. and trying to see kind of where's this propaganda coming from. Is there a certain app that's more popular with false information? Is there any apps that's really good? With social media, TikTok, everything coming out and about right now, especially in our age group, is that the place that we turn first to information, and kind of how does that information that we gather from there first cement in our heads, and how can we use social media in the future for positive information? How can we educate people on knowing kind of the negative effects of health information on social media, and knowing what's false and what's not? So this is more of kind of the first step of a long study, but it's been fantastic, and ICANN has so many fantastic opportunities, and this is just one of them. But yeah, it's been a great project so far. We just finished all of our interviews. We have all the analysis done, and we're just wrapping up the report to send over to the hospital in Italy, and it will be published eventually in a journal. We're just not sure which one, but it's been a great experience, and ICANN has just been so instrumental in getting this off the ground.
I love that. I love that you enjoyed it. I love that that's a really good opportunity for you. I know that a lot of us are looking for internships, something to launch us into our career. I know that it can be difficult when we have medical illnesses that don't really enable us to be able to get out there and do stuff. So that's amazing that you were able to enjoy that and also join in and have that. For those who are a little new to the young adult professional kind of group, our focus is really just bringing you guys opportunities. And that could be in internships, that could be in a potential job, it could be in anything that you guys see necessary. And it's also kind of an opportunity for us to define a role in leadership and then also be able to give back. So it's really just a group where we can kind of build our skills and kind of launch ourselves and also share in this community what we're going through and some tips and tricks and things like that. But this is one of the biggest parts of it, which is our internship. So please, when I send you guys something, take a look at it, see how to help you. And then if you have something to share, if you think an internship that you've seen is cool, please feel free. I'm sorry, my air conditioning unit is going off and it's distracting me. Anyway, next one. So this year's summit was in Lyon, France. It was pretty cool because it's my first time going to France. It was kind of awesome because the young adult professionals get a stipend to go there. So it covers $1,000, I believe, Amy, in travel fees. So that just goes towards like your hotel room and your flight there, things like that. There we kind of did a lot of group projects, which was really exciting. One of the biggest things was Dr. Sharon Smith's What We Want a Doctor to Know, and then also Think Like a Doctor. So I'll kind of explain that a little bit more after, but I do want to let you guys know that if you were not able to attend the summit, the link is right there. Please click that. You can watch the videos from the summit. And then also just let you know our summit next year is going to be in Southern California. And our dates are down there. So be on the lookout for emails and information pertaining to that. So going into Dr. Sharon Smith's project, what we did was we kind of thought like a doctor. So they had some scenarios that we were given, and us as the patients were able to be in the doctor's position and kind of work with the patient who was the med student at the time. And we would kind of see what a doctor would do, I guess the steps to take to diagnose a patient and how to treat them. So it's really kind of cool because as a patient, sometimes we're always so focused on our side, which is totally understandable and fair. But sometimes when they ask us a crap load of questions, we're like, what does this mean? Why is this necessary? Please just figure it out so I can go home, right? But it was really kind of cool to be able to understand what they look at, what they see, and things like that. So there's going to be another survey going out soon, which I will send the link. I think Amy did, just about your experience in the hospital and things like that. If you would like to participate in, please click the link. And yeah, any questions, comments, or concerns about that? All right. So I'm going to keep this one very open. We're kind of revamping the young adult professional group. So there aren't really any standards per se as to what we're going to do. They're not set goals other than giving back to our community and building leadership. So I really want to give you guys an opportunity to set what you guys want to do in the future. So right now we're looking at continuing to do internships, but is there anything from the description that I've given you about our group that you think could be used or interesting?
So I can jump in here a little bit just to kind of help get the conversation rolling. The reason we really wanted to have this meeting is to, one, introduce all of ourselves so you know you are part of a group, and that there's a lot of like-minded young people that are on here that are ready to get started and do something fun. So Rhiannon has also come up with some great ideas about doing possibly a research project that you could put your name to and work on. Similar to what we do with internships, that you could create something that you could share within your own needs. Like some people have the need to build up their resume as they're going off into their careers. Other people want to do something because it empowers them and takes that knowledge that they've learned to utilize it to make a better patient environment. So whatever those reasons are, we would love to have your ideas for things that you want to work on and then bring those forward. And then conversely, our intent is to continue to offer these projects. Like Ananya's participation in the internship for this summer was incredible. She has gathered a lot of feedback, a lot of information. She's continued to help social media spotlighting to better understand what that means for kids and how to get, information that's real and important to young people so that they can process, whether or not they should take a vaccine, or whether or not, they should visit a doctor or whatever it might be. We wanted to continue to do things like that. And then lastly, we want to do some community building. So if there's things that you want to do locally, things that you want to do independently of the group, you're welcome to do that. We have a page. So in the chat, you'll see your young adult professionals page. That page is for you. So as you do things, we would love to have a story from you. You write up an article, share things that you've done on your campus or in your career that we can pass along. I've heard so many great things today. Uma, you were talking about some mental health. We have some young people that really want to learn more about mental health and how to incorporate that in their everyday care within iCAN. We have other projects where people have done fundraisers or just built community support for patients who are on campus. We would love to be able to share that. So anything you're doing. And then lastly, one more suggestion is if you're taking classes and you're doing research for that class, don't feel like your report or your abstract or your poster ends with a class. We can share that too. We want to get your ideas out there and give you the ability to be seen and to be heard and to spotlight how young people are really advancing medical health care.
And I think to go off that, I'll just share. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I wanted to add to what Amy was saying, kind of, what we were thinking about when we did this. We wanted to make sure that the youth who were a part of iCAN originally could still be a part of some of the activities that we do and sharing their voice. But we also wanted to bring in new people who just had an interest in a career in medicine, whether that's biomedical engineering or pre-med, whatever it might be. We wanted to offer opportunities that would help connect you with this this world. I'm missing the word that I want to say, but we wanted to, bring you in and help you meet doctors, look at career paths, all sorts of things like that. And one thing I will say is, if you have other friends who are pre-med with you or, just have an interest in healthcare, they're welcome to join. You don't have to have any kind of medical condition to be a part of it. We also want you all to serve as kind of role models for the kids who are still in iCAN. So 8 to 18, kind of that high school and middle school years. There's going to be opportunities to be a leader in this kind of organization, especially when we look forward to the summit next year. And I also want to say, when we talk about the summit next year, we're going to be doing it with the International Society for Pediatric Innovation. And their members are all like the innovation officers at hospitals. But we want to kind of highlight young adult professionals next year and give you all some experiences that really focus on what you want to do as kind of an up and coming professional in the healthcare space, or as an advocate as you move forward. So think about that. Think about what you all might want to do and see and have kind of interactions if you want to run a panel, that type of thing. We'd love for you to just think about that as you move forward.
And to go off of that, these are some of the goals that I personally had. I know that resume building, LinkedIn web pages, internships, job opportunities, I know that these are all kind of big things for us. So I thought that a workshop would be kind of fun to do. This is totally up to you guys if you want to see something new or different. And then also, as someone else pointed out, I think it was Uma, discussing mental health and also self-identification. So I know some of us have participated as a pediatric patient, but we've also transitioned out of that pediatric realm, I guess. And I know personally I struggled with figuring out where to go after that and what to do. And as Leanne said, that this group is an amazing one to be able to kind of transition, feel supported, and also see the things that you want to see. So do you guys have anything that you wanted to add to that?
Oh, just to kind of go off of the topic, like mental health, like I know in my job, we do a lot of work in improving mental health of both the caregiver and the patient, but my boss is a pediatric oncologist and she has a lot of experience in that field. So if you want down the line, I'm happy to ask her to like talk to you all and just kind of give her perspective about her ideas and improving that for the mental health for patients and also their caregivers. So also you can kind of see where she comes from as an oncologist. So I'm happy to ask her to chat with you all.
Yeah, that's great. And that kind of leads me into my next part about Ask the Experts. So that's a session that we have on Saturdays. And essentially what it is we get an opportunity to talk with the doctor in the medical field about a wide variety of topics. It's often hosted by Dr. Chang, who's a pediatric doctor as well. I won't lie and say that I remembered what specialty he was, but he's talking about he shared COVID information with us and misconceptions. And we also had Megan Gorski from Pfizer share her experiences, both as a mom and also as a leader in her field. So if you guys ever have a topic that you want to discuss, or maybe someone who you think would be a great person to invite on that, whether it be a speaker or a participant, that's always great. So are there any topics that you guys would like to see discussed in our Ask the Experts? Something that's important to you?
Y'all don't be shy in talking up. We want to make sure this is something that you all really want to do and participate in, and whatever kind of experiences you want. So for example, other topics we've had in the past are career paths. How did you become a cardiologist, or what did you need to do during med school and think about during college, or whatever it might be. There's all sorts of things that we can talk about, and it's almost like a one-on-one session with professionals in the field, whether they're engineers or pharmacy or clinician, whatever it might be. So think about it. We would love to tailor some specifically for this group. And like Rhiannon said, it's once a month on a Saturday morning. So we would just love for any and all of you to be able to join us, but definitely help us pick the topics.
And I know that there's a lot of, go ahead.
Sorry, Rhiannon.
No,
I was just about to say, like, because I am 19 and I'm just now entering college as a freshie, just like you. I think I'm kind of waiting to enter like my classes and meet certain professors and stuff and wait for these questions to arise, because I think that's where I'll find my intent for iCAN, honestly, because at this point I'm just like, I don't even know like my dorm and all this stuff. But doing this, like I think ideas will come in. So what were you going to add on, Rhiannon? Sorry, I just threw that on.
No, you're good. No, I love that. Yeah, I think as you said, as you go through life, you find that you have different needs, different standards, expectations, wants, and stuff like that. So I would definitely love for you guys to update me as you go along. Again, this is really open, so please let me know any of the other things. But I do think there's stuff going on in the chat, so I don't want to ignore that. You see?
Oh, it might just be
Oh,
me.
okay.
I was gonna add, like, well, first off, well, I'll go back to the internship, but I do know some physicians from my internship that I could see being, well, they were great mentors to me, so I feel like they would be great mentors to you guys. Specifically, Dr. Timothy Flannery. He is a pediatric endocrinologist at Children's Hospital of Orange County, and he actually had, I believe he had back surgery during his undergrad. So he talked to me heavily about that experience because I actually had hip surgery. So we kind of related to that in a sense. And I think he would be a great mentor to bring on. Also, Dr. Sharif Tehrman, he gave a fantastic mentor session at our internship, and he didn't get into medical school the first time, and it was, a lot about, I think it's great to hear about failure because it makes me feel better about some of the failures that I've had. So kind of showing that possible, like, you might not get into medical school the first time, but you can end up being he's a fantastic pediatric neurologist. So yeah, I could invite him or both of them. And then also with my internship, I think that's a great opportunity to share about. I think it's already on the website. And you would have to apply in February. So it's a little ways away for the summer, but basically it's a summer internship at Children's Hospital of Orange County under the Medical Intelligence and Innovation Institute. And it's fantastic. It was totally life-changing in terms of like where I want to go with my career path, kind of opening my eyes with innovations in medicine, because I didn't even realize some of these things were things in healthcare, and like the future of healthcare is going to be so crazy. So and I actually got to work on my own abstract and I got to get insight from Dr. Flannery. So it was a lot of fun, and I definitely recommend that experience to anyone who's interested in a career in healthcare.
That sounds totally cool.
Yeah, I have a quick question. When you began that internship, what year at LMU were you entering?
Yeah, so I was entering my junior year, but the great thing about this internship is that it's all ages. So they even have high schoolers doing the internship. We had some post-grad students. We had a medical student doing the internship. So it's really a wide range of ages. We even had, there was this intern who went into a sales career, and then he decided he didn't want to do that and went into medicine, and I think he was like 27. So yeah, we have a range of ages with the internship. I did it going into my junior year. I don't know if I said that already, but yeah, I actually applied for it going into my freshman year, but then it was COVID and I actually got waitlisted, so kind of glad I didn't get in. But yeah, I think it's a great experience no matter what grade you're going into.
Yeah, I'll definitely look into it. Thank you.
So if you could share that, maybe send an email to me and I will share that out to the group for anyone who's interested. At any time, please, if you see an internship or a scholarship or any other opportunity that you think would be really cool, send that to me and I can send out. On that note, I also wanted to discuss maybe later on though, a way for us to best communicate. I know that we have a lot of emails flying around and things like that. So if we wanted to maybe see if we wanted to do a group meet, that would be fun. So we could have like a group chat that might be a little bit easier for people to utilize as well. But we can discuss that a little bit later. I did see that Nicholas joined the group. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing with this. I saw that Nicholas joined the group. I don't mean to pick on you, but did you want to share your name, age, and where you're from?
Oh, yes. Sorry for arriving a little late. I had internet troubles and I had to restart the internet, and that cost some time. But for me, I I guess to introduce myself, my name is Nicholas Lagunes. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, and I'm going to Northwestern University for my college. And was there anything else you'd like me to share about myself?
If you wanted to give maybe a brief summary of your story, if you're comfortable, you don't have to, but we kind of shared like where we are in our life, maybe a job thing that we're doing now or college, as you said.
I guess nothing. I guess right now I'm a little bit in a standstill because I'm waiting just to start the college process. A couple of weeks, I'm going to start the Purple Prep like week where we start getting introduced to our dorms and stuff like that. But I could tell you maybe a little bit about the story of my kind of involvement with iCAN and like kind of my story behind that. Well, I was part of the Lori, basically my high school called, what was it called? My high school at Walter Payton, we had a club called the Kids Impact Disease Through Science Advisory Board, or KIDS Advisory Board for short. And it was kind of a way to kind of get kind of in contact with doctors from actual Lori Children's Hospital. And kind of this kind of spiraled into my own career interest because one day we had a chance to actually visit kind of the Northwestern Research Center. And that was kind of like, for me, that was kind of my epiphany moment. Like, this is what I wanted to do. It was because it kind of showed a community that's kind of bringing kind of the forefront of research. And it's kind of like, because I don't know if I'll be kind of prepared to handle like frontline medicine, but like I would love to like kind of work in the backdrop, create those new cures, kind of help people with treatments. And like I saw that the North Research kind of research center, that's what they were doing. More specifically, they were using zebrafish to manipulate genetic DNA in order to make them glow in the dark. And then once you master that, the idea was to eventually use humans and children to hopefully get rid of genetic diseases. And that was kind of where my story started. It kind of gave me the courage and inspiration to apply to other programs like the iCAN Illinois program and eventually like the France program, which I appreciate and probably would never have my eyes opened without that first initial program.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. So we just kind of talked about what the young adults professional group is, how it's really a group for us to grow in our own right and to share some of our experiences, learn off of each other, but also find our way in, I guess, the job field as well. So internships, things like that. We do want you to have an opportunity to share some topics that are important to you, whether that be mental health, career building, whether that be something in the hospital that you think needs to be discussed, similar to the project that Dr. Sharon Smith did, where we think like a doctor and kind of understand the perspective of a doctor while the doctor kind of understands the perspective of a patient. So that's just kind of where we are now. But let's see where next. So I do want to discuss my role a bit. What I do is basically help with the planning of the summit. And also, I guess our role in the summit would be leadership. So this year, Reese and Olivia were on the front line helping people check in, giving information about where things were going to be held, directing people, and then also connecting with some of the younger members in our group. So the youth council members as well. Talking with parents and patients all alike, and just having a conversation about things that are going on within iCAN, but also just taking the leadership role to help out, I guess. So that's kind of what we did during the summit. And then more about my role, again, would just be leading these meetings to bring this stuff together. So when you give me information and stuff that you want, I take that back and I look for internship opportunities. I share what's being sent to us by our community members. I plan some of the events that you guys want to see. So if you guys want to do a workshop, that would kind of be fall in my role of getting that together for you guys, sharing internship and scholarship opportunities, which I'm kind of looking for now. So it is on a 2-year term basis. My term will end at the next summit. So around that time is when we're going to be getting another leader come in. So That'll be really awesome and exciting. If you're interested, I will be sending more information out closer to the time. Yep. And then lastly are just kind of standards and expectations. And it again can go any way from how often we meet to what you hope to see moving forward. So from what you've heard so far, do you guys have anything that you want to discuss? Some hopes?
I think Leanne touched on this a little bit, but something that I'm really hoping to see is more so like the career path and career building. And you know how like what the process to applying for medical school is, and also I'm not sure, I think it might have been Bailey that mentioned her one of her either advisors or mentors, and where they talked about how they didn't get into med school the first time, and more experiences like that. Because I think definitely like the whole like pre-health, but also like on the opposite side of that, like biomedical engineering, getting into that world is kind of, for lack of better terms, a lot of people gatekeep up like information about that and their experience. And so having like more speakers about that would be really great.
Okay. What about if we talk to an expert who kind of laid out the path in terms of what's the best classes to take, the best course, I guess, the best layout to kind of finish on time, but not rush and feel comfortable with that? Would that be like something that you'd be interested in too? Kind of like a roadmap for each career, maybe?
That would actually be really great. That would be wonderful.
Okay. Roadmap seems kind of cool. I know that LinkedIn is kind of big. So one of the things I was thinking was like having a workshop day where we sat down, talked about what it meant to build a LinkedIn profile, and then maybe work with an expert who could help us lay all of our information out in a professional manner. Would that be something of interest to you guys?
Yes, 100%. Because as I enter college, you know, people are building their resumes already. So, and also I want to reach out to people and potentially bring back some people to iCAN to speak, or doctors.
Okay.
Thanks, Rhiannon.
Your timing is perfect, guys. We just talked about this yesterday at Ask the Experts. And another fun thing we're doing is developing the whole link of Saturday sessions for the upcoming year with topics that you want to hear. And this idea came up at that session. So we're definitely hearing this today just convinces me we need a session on this. So we can also utilize things like Ask the Experts to bring in those experts and meet with, you know, the young adult professionals, but also some of our other core members that want to make sure that they are on the right path as well for things like LinkedIn and resume building and you know, connections.
And we can also do, you know, meetings specifically for you all. Like it doesn't all have to happen through Ask the Experts, for example. So if there's something that you all want to do or have a session on specifically for the young adult professionals, we can 100% do that. And I saw that Cooper joined, so I don't know if you want to have him introduce himself too.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I missed you, Cooper. Did you want to maybe share your age, where you're from, and then also kind of your story? And that could be like college or health, anything like that?
Yes, sure. So I'm Cooper. I am from originally in Kids, Georgia. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm 19 and I'll be going into college next year. Starting in January. So I have like a gap term. And I plan on doing biomedical engineering, and I'm just more interested in the health field in general. I don't personally have any conditions, but I'm interested in that field as a whole.
Thank you for sharing. So what I'm hearing is that we're more focused on career path. That's one of the biggest things that we need to discuss and highlight in our group. And so maybe what we can do is have once a month meetings to kind of touch base, talk, just share, give updates, but then have workshops and stuff on the outside of that, to especially in the Ask the Experts. And then I wanted to go back to the group meet. Did you guys want to move away from emails and maybe try the group meet app? I know that some of us will end up having to have emails anyway, just because of information that needs to be sent out, but is that an interest of you guys?
I think grouping would be great.
Okay, I heard 2 people. Was that?
Yeah, I think we both said group me's good.
Okay.
I think for me it would be email.
Email?
Yes.
Okay. So what I'll probably do is send out like updates or recaps. Recap is what I'm looking for. I'll send out recap emails, but I think I will also send out some alerts and stuff through our group me. So we'll find a way to balance that. But I know that we have a lot of emails going out. I have a personal email. I have an email for my iCAN information, and then I have a school email. There's just a bunch of emails. So I'll look into getting that and send out an email about that as well. So again, just to overall recap, I want to give you guys time on your Sunday. I'm sorry to take up 40 minutes of your time, but to recap, we're going to focus solely, or not solely, but more on career building. I will send you guys an email about all the stuff that we're looking at. If you guys could send me an email if you shared something today about an internship that you liked or a doctor that you think would be great to include, that would be awesome, so that we could start reaching out to them and maybe include that into our next Ask the Experts. And yeah, I think that's it. Any last comments, thoughts, concerns?
I'll just add, if you don't have some, like a doctor in particular that you want to have come talk, but you have a topic area, that's where Amy and I can really help identifying a person who can come talk about the specific thing you all want to talk about. So I don't think y'all have to have all the answers.
Yeah, I just put this in the chat, but I think having someone who's currently a medical student would be a good person to talk to, just to hear about their experience getting into medical school and also like how they're enjoying medical school.
And that's perfect because Dr. Sharon Smith does a lot of work with her medical students and trying to get them out there to work with patients and also rising medical students. So maybe we can have a collaboration with her and have her med students kind of share their experience too. That would be a good one.
And if it's possible, I want to add one more thing. So, iCAN is a nonprofit. We love to bring people from all over the world together to our conferences. Like Rhiannon said, we pay for as many people as we can. So that takes money. And so if any of you all have ideas about doing fundraising efforts, maybe at your school or university, in your community, iCAN would love that. And if you all raise money, we can put that towards bringing more of you all young adult professionals to the conference every year too. So think about that if there's something you could do along those lines.
I actually wanted to pitch an idea right now. I wasn't sure if it was a good moment. But I am an artist, and I thought it would be pretty cool to have like sort of selling your art type situation to raise money, and the art should be themed around like mental health or like living with a chronic illness. I thought that would be pretty interesting way to fundraise money.
Okay.
I love that. I think that's a great idea. And so if y'all have ideas like this, please throw them out. We will entertain anything, and we'd love to support you all in whatever efforts like that you think about. And I think that's a great idea. I would love to see that.
And please remember, this is all about you guys. I mean, you really shape the young adult professional group. As I said, obviously there are standards that we have, things that we want to do, a direction that we hope it goes into, but you guys really control that. So please don't feel timid to share those things. Any idea is a great idea. We really want to make sure that we cater to you and give you the things that you need.
I'll also throw out, this might be what Amy was about to say, but if you have artwork or a story to share that you want to have go in and be published in an anthology, we're collecting things like that right now. And it could be a photograph, a drawing that you make, a story that you write, a poem, something about yourself. Anything really is welcome to be entered here. And Amy might want to add another couple of sentences about that.
Yes, we are desperate for this type of work to be completed. And as a lot of you are in high stress colleges, you're working hard to get started, this is a great project to kind of spend a little bit of time doing something fun and creative and still helping the medical world. So please do it with your roommate. If you have suite mates, invite them to come over and have a little get together where you either draw or you write or you think about poetry or whatever creative endeavor outlet that you might want to express, and then send me those submissions We don't have a lot of time left, so this will end at the beginning of September. But I need about 40 more submissions. So between all of us, I think if you share this opportunity out, it's in the chat, it's on our page for projects and opportunities. Everyone is welcome to do it. So the more, the merrier. And again, it could be a really good, fun group icebreaker for anyone who's newly attending school.
And everything will be published. So you would be a published author or a published illustrator. So I think that that's kind of cool too, to actually really see what you create, make it out into the world and into the hands of other people who could, benefit from sharing your story or seeing your art.
All right, guys. So I want to wrap this up, give you guys back your Sunday. I did include my contact information in the chat. So please email me, text me, feel free. I actually have orientation stuff today, tomorrow, and I think Tuesday. So I will do my best to get around and send you guys a recap email of all of the awesome stuff that we have going on. I will also include the anthology stuff so that you guys can get to that as well. And then we also have a survey from Dr. Sharon Smith and her med students. So if you guys could fill that out as well, I'll include all of that information in the email. I think I will. Is Sunday a good time for you guys to meet? Or did you guys want to do something a different time? That was the other thing I wanted to discuss.
Sundays work well with me because, as you know, like college, everything's booked from Monday to Saturday. So.
Okay, so this time was perfect, right? I think it was pretty good. I don't mind giving a little time to this. It's fun. All right, so if we don't have anything else, I will see you guys next time. I think we'll probably do one a month from now. So I will schedule that out, send you guys an invite. But yeah, happy Sunday. And thanks for meeting with me. I really enjoyed seeing everyone's faces, connecting. It's the first time. So this is awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. We're excited to have you be a part of this.
Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Bye.